Good morning from Good Hope Equestrian and Regenerative Farm. Today we're going to talk about setting up a solar fence charger and how to train your horses to the hot wire. Ooh, you didn't like that? Alright, first thing we're going to do is try to get this mounted to the pole here. This has to charge for 3 days in the sun before we test it, so may as well get a good place to mount it up. Alright, got it facing the sun, so that'll need to charge for 3 days before we test it out, but that's how it'll mount on there. Alright guys, next step is to install 3 of these ground rods. They have to be at least 6 feet down into the ground. These are 8-foot ground rods. So hopefully I can do this without hitting any rocks or roots, because if you bend this pole it becomes very hard to drive it. Ask me how I know. Alright, so the first one can go in pretty close to the fence. You put it right about here. Alright, now we're going to give each one of these ground rods a ground rod clamp so we can secure the wire to it easily. Don't do it on the sticker. Alright, so we're stripping the insulation off of this wire. And just hold it there for now. We'll bend that in place and screw it in tighter when we get everything connected. About that much. off. Clamp that in place gently for now. We'll do it tighter here in a second. Strip it. Screwdriver. Put a little bend in it so it wants to stay in place naturally. Clamp her down. Alright. We got all 3 ground wires in place. And that was the very last of our wires, so looks like it's going to be a trip to the farm supply store before I can finish. And here it is, all set up. This strand of wire was the last step. It connects from the hot portion of the charger to the top wire of the fence, and because all 4 wires are tied together, that makes the whole fence hot around the entire perimeter. And these reels with poly wire are how we make our temporary paddocks. As you can see, they go into these step-in posts, and we can section off really big portions of the pasture to use as paddocks for the horses and move them whenever they get too overused. So it's been a really great system so far, and we continue to modify it to our uses. After leading the horses around the perimeter of the paddock, we turn them loose to find the hot wire on their own. Here you can see Bentley learning the realities of an electric fence. The horses have settled in nicely and have learned to respect the electric fence. The beautiful part is that we can move their paddocks to new locations anytime the grass starts to look too overeaten or trampled because of the temporary nature of this fencing. If you enjoy, subscribe for more horse content and general farming content.